Who is your favorite video game character of all time? It was Ezio Auditore from Assassin's Creed, but after Red Dead Redemption 2 it switched to Arthur Morgan. The straight line piece from Tetris. Arthur Morgan. Guybrush Threepwood. Snake. Snake. Question mark. Snarky. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. HK47. Sonic. Samus Aran. That little robot from Borderlands series. I went through a rough time as I played that game. And he felt like a friend. Edit * he's called Claptrap. Duke Nukem. Showing my age with that answer. Yoshi. Nathan Drake or Kratos. The merchant from Resident Evil 4. Hey hey ha ha. Thank you. Earthworm Jim. Spartan 117 aka Master Chief. Sam Fisher from the Splinter Cell series. Bastila Shan. Mario. Pac-Man. CL4TP. My ass is full of stars. Quote. Duke Nukem passes a video game with his likeness and says, "No time to play with myself." Lydia from Skyrim. She's always there for you, but for some reason I always lose her. And I'm willing to load back my saves as far as possible to always find her. Mimir from God of War. Kratos easily. Only after the new GAO games though. Old Kratos was a cool badass sure. Yeah, he killed gods and stuff. He gets revenge cool. But once he has a family and he wants to put his past behind him, I think he becomes so much more interesting. Like this guy is death incarnate and he just wants to be left alone with his family and would literally give his life for his son. The new GAO games are masterpieces. It's basically the story of this legendary god that just wants to have a family and be a good father in his own way. Kratos is the GOAT. TROGDOR! Exclamation mark. Arkham Batman. Ezio Auditore. Leisure Suit Larry. https://en.m.wikipedia.org/wiki/leisure_suit_Larry. Liara Tissoni. Mass Effect series. Geralt of Rivia. Luigi. I am disappointed nobody else said Luigi. The red car in Frogger. Lara Croft. Specifically Crystal Dynamics era Lara. She's the one I grew up with. Wumpa fruit eating marsupial smiley face. The dragon from Adventure for the Atari 2600. Doomguy. Doomslayer. Stiv from Minecraft. Tifa Lockhart. The cat from Stray. Jimmy Hopkins. Knights. Hal Emmerich aka Otaken. Abatha from Heroes of the Storm. Arthur Morgan is my OG homie. We have been through a lot together over the years. HK47. Echo the Dolphin. Leon Kennedy. BJ Blazkowicz, the man who started it all. 3D. Gladys. Kreia. Hands down one of, if not the best Star Wars characters I've ever witnessed. Not sure if my favorite, but I can't believe no one's mentioned them yet. Commander Shepard from Mass Effect. Fucking legend. Cassandra from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. She's the most well-rounded protagonist of any game I've played. And she has a lot more depth to her character than most. Her story is compelling. She's funny in a lot of the cutscenes. And the voice actress really brings the character to life. Dorian from Dragon Age Inquisition. Veronica Santangelo. Cute. Smart. Funny. Likes punching things. Part of the Brotherhood of Steel. I'm willing to overlook that last part. Also. Agarth. Alcoholic. Seen some shit. Can read the weave of fate. Decent fighter. Redeems himself during Mel Senshir. And Realm. tiny, cute, funny, bad attitude, cool power, raised by secret mages. At one point, she threatened to paint another character's picture, which caused everyone else to freak out. Can't forget Aerith. Ogbor remake. Still cute. Still funny. Still badass. Still crushing on Cloud. Still my dedicated healer. Kinsey Kensington. Smart. Cute. Funny. Tech wizard. Into the same stuff as me. Respectable fighter. Sorry. I'm just rambling now. I'll shut up. Max Caulfield. IP Freely. Rise of the Triad. Majima Goro. Randall Dean Clark. The real ones know. Cloud Strife. Cade 6. Kazuma Kiryu. Kiryu Kazuma, Majima Goro, Kasuga Ikaban, Yagami Takayuki and X200B. Basically, I love Yakuza. Mario. Riku from Kingdom Hearts. The first mushroom in Super Mario Bros. He has killed more players than any other villain in video game history. Hocus Pocus. Custer from Custer's Revenge. Ricky Bartley Jones. A very tall and strong Regan from my epic FM12 save who just couldn't stop scoring goals. He was banging 'em in at 15 and just kept getting larger and more lethal every year. He got me promoted every single season. All the way from the 8th tier of the English football pyramid to the top. With admittedly 2 Savascums along the way. Both were instances of me losing in the promotion playoff final with some BS thing happening. A couple years after I sold Ricky Bartley Jones, the board of the club decided to build a new stadium for our club, and to name it after Ricky Bartley Jones. Bartley Jones Stadium. This was my home for many seasons after Bartley Jones left. I managed Kensington Park FC here. A club I made up from scratch. And made up a backstory for. Even drew a logo. But unfortunately don't have it handy. The backstory is that a random Canadian, me, won a reality TV show and got the chance to manage a new club in the 8th tier of English football. Snoop Dogg was the chairman of this new club. And the stadium was built right on the site of Diana's Memorial Playground. This playground is in Kensington Park. Thus the name. This was of course all very controversial. And so my club was branded in the British media as the villains of football and so on. But only in my head. A couple days into the job Snoop Dogg unexpectedly quit. I suspect that when I created his character in the database and entered all the personality values manually, I might have made him a bit unstable. He never showed up after that. Which was a shame. But maybe it wasn't meant to be. It also turned out that I made my youth academies a bit too *good. It wasn't even the highest or second highest setting. But since I was at such a low level of play, the club's bankroll was not very high. All the other clubs had minimal youth academy setups. And I had something a bit more comprehensive. That cost me each and every season. This is where Ricky Bartley Jones comes in. I basically needed to get promoted every season. Or else the costs would catch up with me unless I sold all my best players. Each time you get promoted you get that nice bump in how much you can spend on everything. Ricky was that player who just couldn't stop scoring goals. I played with a relatively simple 4-4-2 formation. With Ricky as the target forward. And the secondary forward as support. A role played by many players over the years. I remember only one other name from those years. La Costa. He was the left back. And also survived the whole rise from the 8th division to the top. And kept his spot as starting left back for the whole time. And then some. I wish I could remember more of the names. But I suppose I could dig up that save and look at them again if I wanted. The save is now in the year 2080 plus or something like that. Eventually I became so loved at the club that I could basically play a reverse game. The reverse game is that you take a vacation during the regular season and work during the off-season. So basically, I would spend the off-season finding all the hottest 15 and 16-year-olds. I would buy them and stick them in my U18 side. I would sell any 30-year-olds and non-performing players on my first team for profit. I would promote any U18 players to my U23 team who were good enough. Do the same with U23 to reserves and then reserves to first team. Basically do a culling of all the players who don't belong. And bring in fresh 15–16-year-old talent. Then when the season begins, you go on vacation and get your assistant manager to manage the whole season. Then you come back from vacation and examine the aftermath. Surprisingly enough, the aftermath was usually quite positive. Numerous Premier League crowns. Some successful Champions League campaigns, etc. My player dev pipeline was really quite successful at producing world-class players. I was only buying 15 to 16-year-olds, and kept that going for 30-plus seasons. And since I was so loved at the club, they never fired me at any time during the regular season, even if the club didn't do that great. Eventually I got bored of the reverse game and gave up on the save. But I still have it somewhere. Maybe one day I'll load it up and look up Snoop Dogg. It is Ricky Bartley Jones who I will never forget the most though. He was the star of the show.